Hi, welcome back to Booking with Debra. It's been a while since I have regularly been posting videos on my channel. I was just at a stage where I needed to take a little bit of a break, and one of the things that I wanted to do in this video was just pass on my thanks to you all. So thank you to everybody who has continued to say subscribe to my channel in the time that I've been away. I am very, very grateful for you for sticking with me. I also wanted to say thank you to everybody who left lovely comments on my community post when I said I was taking a break, and to anyone who has commented on my videos while I have been away for a while. I'm really sorry I was away for so long. I am feeling a bit better. I am not planning to return to making lots of videos, doing lots of wrap-ups and things. I am just going to slowly, keep being a part of the Booktube community as and when I feel that I want to. One of the bookish things I've really learned about myself actually in this most recent break and in the last few years is that when life gets tough for whatever reason, whether that be the world going into lockdown or my physical and mental health taking a bit of a dip and being on a bit of a roller coaster, my reading ability seems to evaporate for some reason. So I find that when I'm starting to find life a bit difficult, I am no longer able to physically read books or to read physical books, which is really difficult because reading books is one of the things that helps my physical and mental well-being. So when that leaves me, it can almost make things worse. And I've also found over the last few months that I'd actually got to the point where I couldn't even concentrate on audiobooks and wasn't even managing to listen to my bedtime audiobooks. So it's been an interesting experience to kind of go through that stage, and one of the things that I tried to do was not put pressure on myself around losing those sorts of abilities to focus on those things. And for a time I did end up stepping away from Booktube completely. So if you have a Booktube channel, and I normally subscribe and I normally support your channel by watching and commenting on your videos. I'm sorry if I've not been around very much. I have tried to watch some videos when I've sort of felt in the mood to sort of watch things around bookish stuff. I am hoping to slowly get back into reading. I am back to listening to my bedtime audiobooks, thank goodness, which is a massive help to help my sleep quality. And I've started listening to some audiobooks while I've been pottering around the house again, and I am hoping that I will be able to get into a regular routine of reading physical books on a regular basis. I think in the sort of 4 months that I've not been making videos, I've read one physical book and one novella of a physical book. Those are the only physical books that I've actually read in that time. So that's not great considering how many books I normally read. I did have to let some people down who I was buddy reading with at the time when my health just took a bit of a nosedive. So I'm really sorry to those people who I was buddy reading with, who I did have to say I'm really sorry, but I just can't carry on with this buddy read because I'm just not feeling well enough. So hopefully at some point in the future I'll get back into doing regular buddy reads. So let's talk about some books. Do a bit of a reading update. One of the videos that I made before I took a break was my spring subscriber Booktube choice, which was the first of sort of series of videos I was going to make, where I was asking my subscribers to pick from, I think there was 5 books you could pick from, to vote which book you thought I should read in June and then in spring, and I would read that book in spring. So just to let people know that the winner of that vote that got the most votes was The Remains of the Day by Kazu Ishiguro. Some of the other books were quite near to it, but in the end I think it just got pipped. I think it got 2 or 3, maybe 3 more votes than any of the other books. And I'm very pleased to say that I did actually read that book. I ended up listening to it on audiobook, to be honest with you, because I was not able to pick up the physical book and read it. And I am going to do a separate video where I'm going to talk about my thoughts and feelings around that book in the future. In terms of my reading plans going forward, the video that I put on my channel before this one was some of my reading plans that I've got all around Frankenstein and Mary Shelley. So I've created a bit of a bookish inspired bingo board. In terms of what books I'm currently reading, I'm currently listening to a bedtime audiobook which I am really enjoying, and that is The Lost Bookshop by Evie. This is historical fiction with magical realism sort of woven throughout it. It's a dual timeline book, and it's all about a lost bookshop that's waiting to be found. And this lost bookshop appears to have some sort of magical powers of its own. So this is a great book for people who love books about books or books about bookshops. In the historical fiction timeline, I think it starts in 1921, where we meet a character called Opaline who flees England due to pressures to have an arranged marriage, and goes to Paris where she becomes a book dealer. And then in the present day timeline we meet two characters, the first of which is Martha, who is in Dublin. She is escaping an abusive marriage, and then we meet a male lead character called Henry in the present day timeline, who is a PhD scholar who is interested in searching for rare manuscripts, and as part of his sort of search for a rare manuscript that he's interested in, he starts searching for an old bookshop which is in Dublin. But when he reaches where he thinks the bookshop should be, it is not there. Or is it? I am really enjoying this book as a bedtime audiobook. There is a lot going on in it, but I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give anything away. But if you love books about books, books about bookshops, books about people who love books and bookshops, then this might be a nice, easy historical fiction book that you want to consider. There are obviously some trigger warnings in it because there are elements within this book around domestic violence, so you should just be aware of that going in. I did purchase one book in a charity shop that's been on my wish list actually for quite a long time, and that is this one, which is I Belong Here, A Journey Along the Backbone of Britain by Anita, Sethi. I first became really interested in reading this book when I saw it had been longlisted for the Wainwright Prize, which was last year. I think it was longlisted for the prize. I think this book is a sort of mixture between nature writing and sort of autobiography, and I think it was inspired by a very horrific incident that the author experienced back in 2019. So I believe she was on a journey through the north of England when she became the victim of a racially motivated hate crime, and this led the author to experience quite a lot of anxiety and panic attack, which led to the author really wanting more access to wide open spaces and breathing spaces and the great outdoors really, and access to the countryside. And she was really determined that the horrific experience that she endured would not stop her accessing those things. And I think this book is about her experience of going out there into, you know, nature and the countryside in the north of England, while also reflecting our experiences around race and racism, discrimination, and themes around sort of a sense of belonging and place. That in itself really does interest me, but because it's also based around the north of England, so I know some of the areas that she visits in this book are parts of the Yorkshire Dales that I am very familiar with, and also areas of the Pennines. Planning to slowly make my way through this book. I'm really interested to sort of throw myself into some immersive nature writing, particularly nature writing based on areas that I'm familiar with. In terms of my future plans for this channel and making videos, I'm not going to put any pressure on myself to regularly be doing weekly videos or anything like that. It's taken me a long time to get to the stage where I feel able to sit down and record these videos that I'm just putting up at the minute, and I need to really take care that I don't get sort of over enthusiastic about the booktube community and get myself back into a place where I'm trying to do too much. However, I will say that I have really missed being part of the booktube community. I think one of the things that made it so difficult for me to get back into the reading was that I had stepped away from the booktube community a little bit because it's the Booktube community that enthused me around my reading, and I absolutely love and thoroughly enjoy interacting with subscribers in the comments section, and that's one of the things that motivates me to keep going with my reading. So it's a bit of a chicken and egg thing really. So I lost my ability to read books and concentrate on audiobooks, but I think that was probably compounded and being made worse by the fact that I wasn't really active in the Booktube community, which is where I get a lot of my inspiration from. I am planning to do some videos at some point in the future, one around the spring subscriber choice book, which I mentioned was The Remains of the Day. I would like to do future videos around the subscriber choice because I really enjoyed that video and I loved the fact that everybody interacted so much and responded and voted. So I will look to do another one of those in future. There are some books that I had read before I took my Booktube break, which I've not had a chance to talk about on my channel, so I will be able to do some short wrap-up videos around some of those books. And I have managed to listen to some audiobooks while I've been on my break, so there are some audiobooks that I could also talk about hopefully in future videos as well. In the ideal, I would like to make one video every 2 weeks, which was always my plan when I first created my channel, that I would do one video like every fortnight. I'll try and keep to a regular uploading schedule of a Saturday morning. So if you are interested to make sure that you don't miss out on any videos that I make in your subscription feed, I think if you click the notification bell somewhere down here, I think you will be notified whenever I do upload a video, so you won't miss it. Before I bring this video to a close, I just wanted to say a massive thank you to everybody who has continued to stay subscribed to my channel and everyone who's commented and continues to show their support. I really do appreciate it and it really means a lot, and I think that has been what's helped me to be able to come back to making videos, is knowing that you are still all out there. I would love to hear in the comments section how you are doing, what has been going on for you, what have you been reading, have you read anything that you would recommend, and if like me you've not been reading very much, I'd just like to hear in the comments what you've been up to instead. I really do hope you are keeping it okay. That's it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye!